Okay, moving on to the arms. When you start your arms, you want to go kind of to the center of your circle here, just inside the shoulders. Top part of your arm, your bicep, is 1 head length. And do them off to the side like this too. So it's 1 head length from your shoulders to your elbow. Your forearm is also 1 head length. Right where your elbow would be located. And the very last is your hands, and they are a half a head. So the hands are 1/2 head. And then you can add in circles for the hands for now. Okay, this is just one method of setting up the body. Everything is pretty close to being correct. Just a little bit variations. If you were to draw a fashion model, you usually make them 9 heads long and you extend the legs a little bit. You make the legs longer in a fashion model. And that's generally what people do. If you were looking at other books, you'd find different ways people have set this up. But this is the most common way to do it. So if you were drawing a person that was moving or jumping, you would just do it very quickly, kind of in the same idea. Before you would even start doing the rest of it. And then after you had it down a real quick sketch, then you can go in and check your measurements. The first measurement you would check is to see if from here to here was equal distance across. So I'd check that out. And then whatever size my head, I'd do it along the arms and see if that was about the right spot. Things change a little bit when they're pointed at you. It's called foreshortening. We'll get into that later. Okay, so from this spot, from this point here, after you've got the body all set up, then you would go in and start sticking in the meat. So we're going to start up here with the neck and the shoulders. This will make a lot more sense when we have an actual person to look at. And as you become better at this, you won't even really use this method anymore. The biceps of the arms, just kind of stick some ovals in there. The forearm, it's fatter towards the elbow than it is by the wrist. So you kind of thin it out by the wrist. For today, we're just going to leave the hands as circles. We're going to go into how to build hands tomorrow. I could actually teach a full week's worth of lesson on just hands.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. Hands are actually, in my opinion, the hardest thing to draw. Okay, this line that we put right here, right across the middle of the rib cage, that represents where the pec muscles go. So you generally curve right off the top of their armpits, and the pecs sit right on top of that line. And if you're drawing a woman, that's also right where the breasts would sit. It's a very common mistake that people who are just learning to draw will put these way up here by the neck and think that it looks right. Right in the middle between the ribs and the guts line, let's make a mark right there, little X. It's where your belly button is located, right in the center of your guts. So then you would extend just behind the pectorals, and you would want to curve it in just slightly towards your belly button. So it would curve in towards the belly button, then it would come out right at the hips, the pelvis bone, and go straight down. The legs are built up the same way the arms are, except they're stronger. So you start with just a round shape. It goes towards the knees. And the calf muscles are just like the forearm. Fatter at the top, skinnier towards the ankles. A bit fatter. And then it would be after this point that you would erase all the guidelines and start giving the guy some details. Eyes, nose, lips, clothes, fingers and stuff. A couple of differences between men and women. So we drew a guy up here. One of the major differences is between the shoulders and the hips. Women have wider hips than men do. The reason why that is because that men will keep their balance in their shoulders and women will keep their balance in their hips. Also, when drawing men and women, we drew a man here because you can tell he comes in, then you have this section that's different from this section. Those three areas are split apart. If this was a woman, what we would do is we would take this line from the belly button and we would just curve it out for the knee, so that this would be just one motion, so that we would create what looks like hips on the woman, because they're a little more shapely than men are.